Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, one of the founders of LSATdemon.com and the weekly podcast Thinking LSAT. With me today, I have Josh Mansfield, a teacher with us at LSAT Demon. Josh, we have an email here from Lindsay, not last test. Lindsay is her pseudonym. She's on her third official attempt. She's planning to take the June test this year. She previously has scored a 162, studied with another prep company, and she also has a cancel on record. So this is her third official attempt coming up in June.
I started studying in this January, and thanks to your advice, I already feel worlds better than I did all of last year. Glad to hear it. Just after a month of studying, your method of solving each question, one at a time, has unlocked LR questions for me and made them feel way easier than they ever did. I've gone from thinking that I was just not a 170 plus type of person to believing that it is attainable. I wish your podcast had come across my desk earlier in my study, but that's life. We push on. I really want to start law school in 2026, but I'm also committed to getting the best offer at the best price. If I end up needing to also test in August, do you still think it's feasible for me to apply broadly and early for this next cycle? How would you approach preparing application materials? Over the summer along with studying, or in September once I've taken the August test? And I added a question here, Nate, for that I've gotten from some of our live consults of what test administration is too late to apply broadly and early. Is that August, September, October, right? Where is too late?
Applications open in September. I would prefer that you're there on day one, but I wouldn't be like religious about it. I just know for sure that if you're applying in January, that's too late for me.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you just wait till the next cycle? Every fall, we see scholarship offers.
Mm-hmm.
Every fall. So if your applications aren't in the fall, then you're not first in line for scholarships. And so I'm not sure exactly where that line is drawn. I mean, some years they come in earlier than others. I remember one cycle where there were scholarship offers that were out in August. Some schools actually like opened up the window early and started trying to poach the very best applicants. Well, okay, so you want to be poached. Like you want to be out there when the schools are at their most desperate, right? They're like, whew, school just started and we now have 150 empty seats that we have to fill for next year. So if they see somebody come across their desk with high LSAT, high GPA, somebody who would raise their medians, they're like, shit, let's go out and give them an offer right now to try to get them signed up. So earlier the better in the fall. January's too late. I guess there's a gray area by the time you're taking the September LSAT, the October LSAT. Now your scores aren't coming out until October or November. So you might miss the very first wave. But, it's not late for Yale. I know that because like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, they're not giving offers until February.
And I've seen them say that they will wait on people who applied in September and won't answer them until April.
Right.
And
so it doesn't matter for some schools, but it does matter for other schools, and different schools behave differently in different cycles. So you never really know when a school is going to be out there trying to make a splash, giving generous scholarships early in the cycle. And so in a perfect world, you would apply to 20 schools on September 1st.
Yeah.
But if that becomes October 1st, I don't think it's the end of the world.
To that point, Nate, I know that you guys have talked about I think it was on the Thinking LSAT podcast, the University of Chicago's law school study that talked about the depreciating value of your LSAT the longer you wait to apply.
Right.
And that the equivalent value of your LSAT score drops by, it was a significant enough amount to mean that like applying early can equal a couple of points on your LSAT over applying late because of these waves, right?
And it was something like a point per month or something.
It's close to that.
Your score depreciates. So if you have an actual 174, applying September 1st, you get the full value of that 174. If you don't apply until December 1st, it's as if you have a 170 2 or
Right.
something.
Because they're limiting now based on like where do we want our medians to be. Their list is filling out. They know what they can allow in. Uh,
Absolutely.
I get nervous. I get nervous when students October. To your point, applying October 1, okay, you're a month out. I even get nervous when students are like, oh, I'm taking the November test. It's like, well, that means you're getting your score back basically the week of Thanksgiving. And have you ever been to a college and how it works
Oh
from
yeah.
Thanksgiving to Christmas?
No, ghost town. You're
Ghost
all the
town.
way through the beginning of the next semester. I mean, there's
Exactly.
nobody there. Like schools
Doing
aren't doing
November
shit in December. Yeah.
is like getting considered at the beginning of the next year.
Right.
So when students ask me this question, my typical recommendation, because we just gave the advice, you and Ben just gave the advice not to throw away your 5 shots, and not last test. Lindsay points out in just a little PS section about how valuable. Not like realizing that having multiple LSAT scores aren't going to hurt her. I guess there was this tactic at her undergraduate and pre-law organization that you just need to do one test and that's it.
Oh,
And
such bad advice. Yeah,
yeah.
Another very bad tip that's out there that, oh, we only report your highest score to the American Bar Association, and we're only ranked based on your highest score, but we do raise an eyebrow when we see people took it a 3rd or 4th or 5th time. It's like, yeah, okay, but I know people who went to your school who got a full ride who took it 5 times. So
Yes.
I guess you didn't raise the eyebrow that high because ultimately you were happy about their 5th score, right?
Yeah.
That's why you gave them a full ride.
They
right?
raised the eyebrow while they were like counting the bills from getting the nice US News ranking.
Yeah, they raised their eyebrow because they were like, oh, that's a good score. I mean, all that matters is your highest score on record. And
Yeah.
it's just so absurd that now, don't take the test until you're not ready. Don't throw away a shot by taking a shot too early.
Yes.
But absolutely no reason to apply to law school if you think you can do better and you have not yet exhausted all 5 of your attempts. I think you're crazy for not continuing to take those attempts, because every point of LSAT can be worth $10,000 in scholarships. And so it's just nuts that people are like, oh, well, I mean, my practice test average was 165, but I got a 163. So, that's good. I'm done. Like, fuck, really? You like your very next test, you might score 167. And that's dramatically different in terms of scholarships and admissions chances.
Yeah. So to Lindsay's point, not only would I plan on you're taking the June, not only would I plan on taking August, you should also probably plan on taking September.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, if you get a 170 plus that you're happy with, great. You don't have to take September, but you should plan on it. And don't let your application materials get in the way of your LSAT studying. But if you have a little extra time on the weekends, sure, start drafting a personal statement. Start putting some things together. But right now, like, get the LSAT score you need, and you've got 3 more attempts, so you should plan on using them.
Yeah, absolutely. That is totally good advice there, Josh. And I don't, if I was Lindsay, I would not be thinking about waiting an additional cycle. Even if you do end up taking the September or October test, if those are if that's your 5th attempt, I think you can go ahead and put the applications in at that point. That said, it also is just no penalty whatsoever if you do have to wait another cycle. Law school will always be there. Life goes a lot faster than you think. And I've never had a single person tell me, oh, I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have applied sooner. No way.
I'm in that list. I joined and unjoined the demon 3 times over the course of 3 years before I was like, you know what? Law school is not for me right now. And it was the best decision I ever made. So.
Excellent. Yeah. I mean,
Same.
You ended up with a score that you can be really proud of.
Yep.
And you're going to end up with a great offer if you do end up going to school.
Yep.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you, Lindsay. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.